Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I will be showing you the concluding part of this dress, how to attach the bodice to the skirt and also how to fix the zipper on the dress. Now I'm done with the skirt part and this is the top part. I have a tutorial on how to draft the bodice pattern of little girls. I'll be leaving the link up there or in the description. So I've already drawn the pattern. I've added all my allowances around the pattern. Here it is. I'll leave the measurement of this 5-year-old girl in the description as well so that you can see it and probably use it. So after drawing this, considering the design that the client wants, here's what I'll do. This is the front pattern. This part is on fold. It is the center front. And this is the back pattern. So here's what I'll do. From the center front, I'll measure down 2 inches. Okay, and then I'll connect it into the neckline like this. So this part will be the tulle. Some people call it skin net, and this part will be the main fabric. So this means that after cutting it, I'll be adding a seam allowance here, 0.5, and then here as well. Now for the back, it's a V neckline at the back. So I'll measure about 4 inches down. Then I'll connect here to here. Now, from here, I'll connect it to here. So this is going to be my main fabric, and this is going to be the tulle. After cutting, I'll add my seam allowance here, 0.5, here to 0.5, 0.5, and then here as well, 0.5, 0.5. Now I can cut it. Here is the fabric that I will be using. So I'll be cutting 3 fabrics in total. The tulle, this one, I'll line it first with a satin fabric, and then I'll use this cotton fabric to line it as well. So it's going to have 2 linings, right? Okay. So I'll cut everything I need and then I'll show you what next to do. So guys, I have cut all of this. This is the tulle for the back, so it's going to be like this. All right, now for the black that is on the chest, I cut this is 6 layers. I sewed it by the side by 0.25 inch. So what I'll do is I'll turn it to the right side. So I'm going to get 3. Since it is 6 layers, I'll get the middle, which is 3 layers, and then I'll turn it to the right side and iron it. So that will be across the chest like this. For the sleeve, this is the sleeve. I used the cap height of 2.5, and then I drew the curve. The curve measures about 6. Then from here to here, I used 2.5 as well, which is the same as this. So I drew it this way. Now I'm going to cut it out. So this is what I have. Now I am going to do a slash and spread method just to make the top wider because I have to gather it. I'll fold it like this and then I'll cut up to here. Now I'm going to spread it and then I'll cut it on these 3 layers. This one, this one, this is the interfacing, and this is the satin. So for the lining, I'm just going to fold it like this and cut exactly what I have here. because I don't want it to be too bulky. You know, I'm using a tulle net at the shoulder area. So I'm going to, after cutting this one, I'll fold it back like this to get what I had earlier, and that is what I'll use to cut the lining. It will be easier that way. Okay, I know what to do. I think I'll just cut this out, fold it into two like this, and then I'll do it like this. So I'm sure I'm cutting the same thing and not something different. So I'll cut it like this. Alright guys, so this is what I have. This is the main fabric and this is satin. This is the shining face of the satin. So first I am going to sew these two together. The right side of the satin with the wrong side of the main fabric. So this is the lining that I'll be using to turn it later. But for now, I'll sew all around here. So it will become one fabric. Same thing as here, as the sleeve as well. And then for this, the net, what I'll do is to sew it at the shoulder. Sew it at the shoulder, and then they become one each. So the reason why I'm not closing this up yet is because I'll be putting the sleeve there, and then I'll use, so one will serve as the main fabric and this one will serve as the lining. After sewing the shoulder, I will attach the sleeve to this, and then I'll use this one as a lining to turn it. You see the result later, so you understand better. Also, after sewing this, I'll use this one to turn it as a lining. Okay. All right guys, so a lot has happened here, but I'll try and explain what I did. So like I said, I turned these two together, the two, but before doing that, I attached this sleeve to one of the two layers, and then I used the other one to turn it, so that served as the lining. So I got this top part, and then for this part, what I did was this. You know, I had this separately and then the lining separately. So I sandwiched the two nets, that's the upper bodice, in between the main fabric and the lining. I sewed it all around, okay, and then I top stitched on the lining. So that was how I got this. I did it for both the front and the back. And remember, I cut two sleeves, but I actually forgot I needed just one. The next thing is to fold it this way, right side facing, and then you open it up like this. So the main fabric together and the lining together like this. Make sure that the stitch align here, okay? And then you sew with your allowance. Remember, we left a 1 inch sewing allowance, right? Then you sew with the allowance like this. You do the same thing for the other side. Then you sew. So after sewing, the bodies will be almost ready. I'm going to unstitch this to the front later. So it's going to be like this. It's just the design. So I'll unstitch it later when I'm sewing the skirt part to the bodice. So let's sew the sides first and then we'll continue. Alright guys, so I have sewn it. This is what the inside looks like. I put my label. This is my lining. So what I'll do is to turn it this way. And sew this lining to the lining only. You can get the midpoints. Get the midpoint of this and put it on the midpoint of the lining as well. Then you sew. You sew with a 0.5 inch seam allowance. After sewing this, now for the bodice, the main fabric, this is it. I've gotten the midpoint of the main fabric. Now you get the midpoint of your skirt as well. This is the midpoint here. Then you turn it this way, and then you place the midpoint of the skirt on the midpoint of the main bodice, the main fabric. And you sew with a 0.5 inch seam allowance as well. So guys, this is the clothes. This is what it will look like on the inside. And this is what it will look like on the outside. This one I'm going to attach it to the neckline after the kids wear it, so I'll be able to measure that. Now it's time to fix the zipper. So looking at what I've done here, the lining, which includes just one layer of tulle, is still separate from the main fabric. Same on the other side. This one is still separate right from the neckline. It is separate. So what I did here, I picked, remember I have 3 layers of tulle and 1 layer of satin, right? I picked the three layers of tulle, put it together with the satin, and then I sewed it down from the waistline to 4 inches. This one is still here, this way. So what I'm going to do is this. Here, I'll open up this part, which is already open. This is the neckline, right? And then this is how I want my zipper to be. A 1 inch allowance, remember? So I'll open it up like this. So this part is supposed to be for here, and this part is supposed to be for here. Like I said, it is an invisible zipper, and this is what it will look like. So now for this part, I'll turn it over like this, such that the teeth of the zipper is facing towards the main clothes. Not like this, but like this. I'll turn it like this. Bring this place up. And then I'll pin. So I'm pinning it on the zipper allowance, which is 1 inch. Which is 1 inch. And I'm pinning it only to the main fabric and the satin. So for the bodies, I'm pinning it to the main fabric, and then for this part, I'm pinning it to the 3 layers of tulle. Yeah, I'm pinning it to the 3 layers of tulle and the satin. Okay, so I'll pin it down up to the 4 inch that I marked. So this is it. Now I'll use my zipper foot to sew it down. So guys, I have sewn this side. This is the zipper for this side. Now for the other one, when you zip it up, you mark the waistline, the exact waistline, and then the 4 inch mark where we stopped sewing, right? Then you open it back up, and then you put the waistline on the waistline here so that there will not be a misalignment. So to put the zipper, you know, this is how the zipper was initially. You turn it this side so that the teeth of the zipper is facing this part of the cloth. Then this way, you put the exact chalk mark on the waistline. I'm using a 1-inch zipper allowance, so I'll put it exactly on the waistline. Okay, this 4-inch mark as well, I'll put it exactly where I want it to stop also, so that by the time I sew, everything will align. Then for this one, I'll just do it similarly. Just sew it up here. Sew it straight down. Now I've sewn it, let's zip it up. Okay, see guys, do you see that this place is aligning? One is not up, one is not down. Perfect. Here as well. So when I stitch here, it's also going to be the same length, you see here. So I'm sorted for the zipper. All right guys, so after sewing the zipper, to finish the end of the dress, there are several ways of closing up the bottom part. This is what I'll do. I'll take each layer of this, just like I did for the 4 inches here, put them together like this. Then this as well, I'll do it, put them together. Ensure you arrange it, everything. So they are both separate now. Then I will put this side and this side together, ensuring that each layer match. Okay, I'll ensure that each of them match. So the satin first, pin it, then the first layer of the two, ensure it matches. This is it. Pin it as well. The second layer, ensure it's the same length at the bottom. You see, pin it. Pin it also with the first layer. Then the third one, so I have all these together now. Okay, and the layers are equal, the lengths are all equal at the bottom. Mind you, this one, the lining is still here, and again I've not joined it to anything. So first I'm going to sew here, sew it straight down. I'll follow the 1-inch allowance that I used for the zipper, and sew it straight down. Okay, so I'll close it up. All right guys, so I have sewn the zipper, and you see how it is here. This is very neat. I pressed it from the inside. You see how flat it is. So I'm still going to trim this part off, but after sewing the lining to it, that's when I'll do it. So everything is aligned here, even here the satin is also aligned. So I'm happy with what I have now. Now to close it up, to close everything up, this is the lining. What you do is just to turn the lining one side at a time. So you turn the lining with this part with the zipper allowance. Just put it over it like this. You have to turn this to the wrong side as well. So everything now is on the wrong side. Now I'll put the lining over like this. Then I'll sew the zipper allowance on the lining. So you close it up from here, and then you continue to sew. You stitch this place, then you put the zipper allowance, just let it align here. Then you follow the teeth of the zipper. I see you can see the zipper, right? This is the teeth of the zipper. You follow it and sew very close to the teeth of the zipper, straight down. You sew it straight down, okay? Like this. I'll do the other side like that as well. When I finish with one side, I'll sew the other side. Okay, so this one will be on this side like this. I'll hold the tulle with the lining and the allowance here. Then I'll sew it down first. I'll finish the top here, then I'll sew it straight down, following the, I'll use my hand as a guide for the teeth of the zipper, straight down. Okay, that's what I'll do. So just sew it straight down. So now I have sewn both sides, and this is what it looks like. Now let me turn it inside out. Like I said, see, I stopped here, right? And it's matching as well. It's matching. Okay. So this is what it looks like on the inside. For this zipper, I'm just going to cut it. And then I'll use a bias tip to fold it here so that it won't be irritating the child. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Now on the outside, this is what it looks like on the outside. You see the zipper, it's aligned here at the waistline, and it's also aligned at the back neckline. So this is the inside. You see it? Just have to arrange the tulle well by the time you're delivering it. For the bow at the back, I cut 2 pieces of satin fabric. This, it is 13 inches by 8 inches. And I also cut a fusible interfacing. First, I'll iron the fusible interfacing on the wrong side of the fabric. After that, I'll put them right side facing, and then I'll sew it with a 0.25 inch allowance. Leave a space of about 2 inches where I'll use it to turn it out. Then I'll take a thread, 8 pieces of thread, and use it to tie the middle this way. Then I'll sew a small piece of satin fabric to use it to, just like a camouflage, to hold it at the middle. This is the bow as well. So for the bow, I'll put hook and eye, press button here and here. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope in one way or the other you have learned something.